All right, we're live. Welcome to the live stream. Better get on camera in the right spot. Hopefully everything's working. Audio, video, is it all good? Never know with YouTube. It just starts. Boom, there we go. Professor Matthews learning about movies. Lots of new people on the channel because I think this video I did on the top 20 unknown videos of the 80s has done, I think, pretty well, better than my other videos. So a bunch of people have showed up. And that video is really good for recommendations, which is exactly what I'm going to give you here, looking at what's on streaming services, specifically Criterion, and what I think many adults would love to watch, or some adults at least. So I'm going to give you recommendations, some opinions. Oh, as always, this is just a movie show. I have no sponsors, so whatever I'm promoting, it's exactly what I want to promote, what I feel honest about promoting. Should I get a sponsorship? I like money, but I don't know. By the way, chat. I got some things in the chat. Subscribe to Letterboxd, or just sign up, follow. You know, it's fun. Subscribe to Substack really helps the channel. That's my Substack on the screen, what I like to write. And then, what else? Become a YouTube channel member. So there's ways you can help the channel. I would really appreciate it. Help me out. Because ends up being or it still is a hobby. I have a full-time job, which I got to do right after the live stream. So anyway, but I'm debating on what to do this weekend. Do I go to Beetlejuice? Do you go to Beetlejuice? I'm tempted to rant on here about this. I knew back at the beginning of the year I'd be sick of the 80s, maybe 90s rehashes. These movies that are repeating those, and now I'm really sick of them. I need something new, fresh, interesting, young, youthful, vibrant, influential, or inspirational. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not getting that with the old person rehashes. Now, I'll probably rant about that in just a minute when I show you this. But anyway, there's my Substack and Letterboxd, which I need to change my 4 favorites on there. Those change from time to time. They're not really my favorite movies, favorite recent watches, or just ones I want to promote or highlight. But feel free to ask me any question on the chat. We'll probably get to it in a little bit. But there you go. What do I have for you? Oh, yeah, I do want to rant about this early. That's the first thing. I'm going to get to Criterion Channel, which, again, they don't promote me. They don't sponsor me. I don't promote them for money. But that's a service I use because I actually found that this is doing a great job of curating movies. You all know this if you've been on the channel, but new people don't. By the way, I need a sponsor. Just pause here for a moment. The sponsor is my Fallout mug. When you want to look cool in front of students. Although I don't know that many students know Fallout anymore. It feels like 5 years ago. You know, the TV show was not for kids. At least no one said anything. So my Fallout mug. Actually, I got another one over there. I got 2. September releases. And horror movies continue to be big. They never stop. I did watch Beetlejuice. I've seen it a couple times. Once way back when, because I'm old. Second, I watched it on a plane on a trip, I don't know, 9 months ago, the old Beetlejuice. And I wasn't thrilled with it. Actually, I didn't like it very much. And it's like random things happen in this movie. Plus, like, what's the afterlife? There doesn't seem to be a world with consistent internal rules. I don't know why that bothers me, but it's just kind of weird with no reason. It's random. Second, the Keaton character of Beetlejuice is the best character by far. Like, I want to just watch that guy, but it holds him off. Like, if I remember this correctly, he's only the first 45 minutes is just stuff, plot. The 2 people, the Alec Baldwin, Gene Davis characters. But then Beetlejuice comes in, but is not then in there very much as I would like. So I don't know what the strategy was. Now, this was a big movie, a surprise hit, I think, back in 87, maybe 88. So then they're remaking it here, and Keaton's 72 years old. Winona Ryder, no idea how old she is, 50-something. And there's one young person there in the poster, but, like, that's my rant with Hollywood. Like, get some young people. Promote young, new, fresh people. Nothing wrong with the oldsters. I like them, but you're dying. You're basically scavenging things from the past. You're rehashing them. You are retrospective, nostalgic stuff, but you're not. I'm ranting. You're not. If you want to do this in 20, 30 years, you're not going to be able to. Because, like, Michael Keaton won't be around. Like, he'll probably be dead. Don't want him to be. You know, you can't do Beetlejuice in 20, 30 years. It's not nostalgic. So I don't know what in the world in 20, 30 years, what are they going to do? A Fast and the Furious 75? Like, I guess Marvel movies, like they'll do a Marvel movie nostalgia thing, but there's not going to be a lot else that they're going to be pulling from. So my metaphor, I probably write about this in Substack, is they're scavengers now. It's like not creating fresh, sculpting from stuff in the world, but creating something new out of that. They're scavenging from old stuff. I don't like that. I think that's a dying culture kind of thing. Hi, Professor Strangefinger. I have no idea what that name means. I'll get to the chat in a minute. So I don't know these. It looks like most of them are, I glanced at them. Kevin Smith. I don't even know what will come to my theater because my theater does not show anything but the biggest movies. Maybe this Transformers 1 movie. I'm not too interested in that. I don't know, never let go. But I think once we get to the 27th here, finally we'll get at least somewhere in the world Megalopolis, which is the Coppola movie, which has some weird buzz around it. And the Wild Robot seems promising to me. And my kids are actually interested in Wild Robot, my own children, because they really liked my one son's favorite movie, 10 years old, is the second Puss in Boots. Like, weirdly enough, which is a creative movie, obviously. So I think the makers of Wild Robot. Then we get the Joker sequel. At least try that and a bunch of others, which may or may not be good, but at least there'll be something in a couple weeks from me on new releases. I'm undecided on whether I want to go to Beetlejuice, but somebody in the comments says, I don't think you'll like it, to be honest. You know what Beetlejuice does have going for it? It's not that long. 104 minutes. So I walk in the movie theater 10 minutes late, miss the trailers, usually do that, and then credits are 7 minutes, so that's a 97-minute movie. Okay, I can do that. Once it gets to 3 hours, I'm glad it's not a 3-hour movie. By the way, did Tim Burton make Beetlejuice? I did not look this up. Is he the director? Yes. So, and with Catherine O'Hara there, Monica Bellucci, Justin Theroux. Look, I like all these people. They're just a little old. So there you go. They're a little old. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Let's get to it. Here, recommendations. Now, you want to watch a movie. You're sick of newer movies. If you're like me, maybe not. But I did notice this today, about an hour ago, when I looked at it, Criterion Channel. I hadn't seen this. I'm a sucker for it. You might be. Courtroom dramas. Not all courtroom dramas ever. Yeah, I'm an ageist. Actually, I like everybody, but this is my rant. Okay, Minecraft the movie is coming out. Who do they put in Minecraft the movie? It is maybe a nostalgia exercise for 2010s teens, like people who are 20 years old. People are still playing Minecraft, young people. I know my neighbor's kids who are like 7 years old are playing this game, okay? So who do they put in Minecraft? Nobody under the age of 40. Isn't it Jason Momoa and Jack Black? Like, I think movie this is maybe me, movie viewers like vicarious experiences to some extent. So put someone in there who's like me. If they're anticipating a young audience, teenage audience, put someone in there who's an alluring, charismatic teenager. I have no idea why they aren't doing that. Obviously, that's why they're losing out to TikTok, which is what TikTok, as far as I know, is. Teenagers looking at teenagers. Right? Overgeneralization, I get it, but that's the thing. Anyway, courtroom dramas. The adult middle-brow movies that have some intelligence but are entertaining, some thoughtfulness but are very fun. This is the thing. Like, we need those in September. There need to be way more of those. So at least we get some. If you haven't seen some of these, I would recommend them. The one I haven't seen this. I'll put that in the watch list. I probably should watch it. And Justice for All, obviously Al Pacino's sitting there. I'm going to skip over a few, and that's I have not seen the sequel to remake 12 Angry Men, William Friedkin, but this is the one, people. Watch that. I know a lot of channel members have watched it, cinephiles, if that's what you consider yourself, but this is a movie. I think it's pretty entertaining. The runtime is not real. I mean, it is, but it doesn't ever feel to me like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Jimmy Stewart, kind of a bastard lawyer for good reasons and for not in this. George C. Scott is great in this. This is a thoughtful, fascinating movie. I need to cover it on the channel. I rewatched this about a year ago and loved it. I loved it better than I ever had. A lot of people like Lumet's The Verdict. I didn't love it. We try Runaway Jury. Witness for the Prosecution. Really good. Don't let black and white scare you. And I'm going to show 12 Angry Men in about a week in my movie or film class in college. Philadelphia is okay. It feels like a message movie. You have good actors, but you already, once you read the plot summary, you know what it's going to be about and how it's going to be about that. So there's no artistic surprises to me. And, then it's a historical document about messages from the 1990s, or maybe they prevail today. But I'm not in love with that movie. I think 12 Angry Men is way more aggressive and fresh, and that's why I like rewatching that over and over again. So that one and Anatomy of a Fall. But let's go. The real thing I love to do, some of you know this. What is this page? That's the front page. Oh, that's newly added. Should we do that? No, the real thing I love to do is this. I have had a problem. This is, some of you know this, months long, years long, finding movies that I want to watch, but they're not existent on streaming. The only way I can find them is interlibrary loan, which doesn't work all the time, or I need to go pirate them, which I don't, but that becomes ethical at a certain point, in my opinion. You can't find certain movies, even movies from the mid-1990s I'm trying to find as I watch through 1990s on streaming. Where are they? Now, what's leaving the channel is an interesting thing to mind, because when it leaves, maybe it never comes back. So I'm recommending watching these, because you never know. Unless you have the physical copies and access to physical copies, you never know. The first one here is something I have discovered recently, works perfectly in my film class, in my opinion. Students may hate it, I don't know. It's a noir, it's the Coen brothers, it's in black and white, it's a little weird, it's got great performances, it's thoughtful and philosophical. It does have some entertainment value, though it's slow, but the combo of a modern black and white noir is just great for me showing to students, I think. Now, it's the Coen brothers. It says Joel Coen there, but it's the brothers. And what are they up to here? They had just made Fargo and I think The Big Lebowski. So this is their follow-up to those two. and it's not the same as those. It may have some shades of Fargo in it. Billy Bob Thornton is the main character. I really like this movie a lot. In fact, in probably a week or two, the channel is going to have a video on it. Like a what makes this movie great video on it, because I did some analysis, and it's a delight in a lot of ways. I enjoy watching it, although it's heavy in some ways. So I think this is a Coen Brothers classic that may be not as esteemed as the movies I named and others like No Country for Old Men, but to me, when you get to the Coen Brothers so-called second tier, third tier movies, they're still in some quality stuff. So there you go. This is the one, along with Anatomy of a Murder, I would strongly recommend. And if you're really in the mood, Anatomy of a Fall, right? Anatomy of a Fall, which is a modern movie I wrote about, is excellent. Licorice Pizza. I don't remember this movie. Somebody was talking to me about it the other day, and I couldn't remember that Tom Waits was in it. So I probably don't have a good memory. Although on Letterboxd, I have some write-ups of these. The other one for younger people is Magnolia. They had, maybe they still have it, Paul Thomas Anderson curated collection on Criterion. And if you're going to do that, Magnolia probably is the one I'm recommending from him. I do love The Master too. But for most people, I found that, they can connect to something in Magnolia. The runtime is long, but it does have a lot of charisma. Sort of anthology. It's not really an anthology movie, but a movie with many stories that connect. Obviously, well, you may not know this, but Anderson loved Robert Altman, who was doing this many times, including in Shortcuts, which I just watched pretty recently from the early 1990s. And Anderson's take on that is fascinating. So I looked at these, and I probably should put that on the watch. Oh, yeah, that's 1994. I'm going to have to watch that because I'm in the year 1994. I'm currently doing my own watch party. Right, we're watching the 1990s with the best of the 90s, best unknown movies in the 90s. It's going to take me some time, but I had not noticed this one from Tsai Ming Liang. I don't know this movie at all. I haven't even read the description. I'm just going to watch it. Sight unseen. Oh, by the way, the one movie, let's see, I thought was pretty good. Well, this would be on my letterbox, wouldn't it? If I can recommend it, some of you guys know I'm not in love with horror movies, but this one, In the Mouth of Madness, it surprised me. It's John Carpenter. I hadn't heard much about it. I don't remember it even coming out in the 90s, and this should have been on my college dorm room's like TV channel where they played these hip 90s movies all the time. I was surprised by this. I thought this was thoughtful and interesting. It's got an interesting premise. I'm not even going to spoil it, but a guy is in a reality he doesn't understand. Like a typical 1990s, 80s, 90s movie. What is reality? But Sam Neill, perfect for this role, coming off of Jurassic Park. I would recommend this if you like Carpenter. It's got an awesome wig in it. It's weird. There are no rules for this movie. It keeps being weird without reason. I do, but it did make sense for this movie to do that. I like that. So I must tell you, I thought this was better than I thought it was going to be. Let's put it that way. And it's one of those movies that there must be 50 of them. You get to The Matrix in 1999, and then you look backwards at all the movies that The Matrix is pulling from in order to make itself happen, and this has got to be like one of those, or in the realm of those. Perverted Truman Show kind of movie, sort of. Something like that. So I must talk about that, and that's why you go to my letterbox. Occasionally, I'll give you things I kind of like, and you can check them out for yourself. Read through me to see if you would like them. I don't know what to say about My Cousin Vinny. I've watched it a couple times. I don't want to say this. It strikes me as a boomer movie. Nothing wrong with that, but my dad always loved that. We loved it when it came out. I never really connected with it. I thought the humor in it was, Pesci's funny, but it just wasn't for me. But maybe I watched it in the wrong time or place. Anyway, Preston Sturges is on here. I talked about him a lot on this channel. Don't mean to skip over Bad Lieutenant. That's a tough movie to watch, but maybe worth it. Night Moves, I've mentioned that. There's Taxi Driver. So again, Criterion, they do good work on their channel. I feel like humans curate it. Algorithms aren't bugging me there. That's why I still like it. If they ever change the algorithms, I'll get annoyed. But they're curating collections, I feel like, with real people doing real things. Do you like any movies here? What movies would you recommend? I've scrolled through a bunch. I know some of them I'm just not mentioning, but there's some on here. You've already got your homework. I suppose if you've never, I could stop here. We've talked about it in the channel, but Days of Heaven. It's still one of the most beautiful cinematographically movies. Sound-wise, it's Malik is amazing with sound. He's probably better with sound than visuals. Who's to judge that? But I feel like the sound quality and the music choices and the voiceover narrator here. So Days of Heaven, Anatomy of a Murder, In the Mouth of Madness. You can't go wrong. Those are 3 good weekends. Three Fridays, Saturdays for you if that's when you have time for movies. You know something? I've never seen Shaft. Not in my life. I know all about it. I've heard about it. Maybe you should watch this. I've seen some blaxploitation movies too, just never seen Shaft. So there it sits. I'll put it there, huh? Absence of Malice. I can't remember that one. Boy, oh boy. I'll never get to a third of these. It's just crazy. I gotta watch Out of Sight from I rewatch it from my 90s stuff. See, this is endless. What are we gonna do here? Cornucopia. And Criterion treats me well. They haven't raised my price. God, they need to sponsor me. What do you guys like? What do you like streaming service wise? I feel, this doesn't change. It never changes for me unless something big happens. I subscribe to Max and I subscribe to Criterion. That's enough. Don't need any more. I'm all good. And Max is doing me a great service as well, because they have a lot of decent quality content. Just real quickly, hang with me here. We'll get to the chat. Let's see what was newly added. And we see my cousin Vinny there, so it's coming on and off. Great, great, great movie here. Apocalypse Now. Do like this one. It's a tough one to watch. Love Bowie and David Bowie and pretty much everything. I have not seen California Split. Oh, I put it on my watch list. I've not seen that one. Fear City. Oh, God. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one. I have no time for this. This is a freaking weird movie. Wild movie for like creature effects and something strange and offbeat. American Werewolf in London. Probably that's going on there for Halloween and next month. They always do a big Halloween push. Hearts of Darkness documentary. So again, do you see anything on here that you guys like? Bonnie and Clyde, but jeez. And Criterion has been they're less old, like really freaking old, like 1930s weird Japanese movies, which is fine, but more like mainstream movies that people will watch. I feel like they're getting towards more towards what Netflix probably used to be, if my memory is correct. Oh, they have One from the Heart's reprise version. Yeah, I can't believe they put that on there. That's really fascinating. Last Detail's great. Last Detail. Love the pun on that movie. Oh my gosh. So anyway, what movie should I write about? What movie should I talk about? Just never, ever ends. So in other words, as usual, this has been the theme for months, maybe years here. New movies, not so great. Slim pickings. COVID caused some problems. The strike caused problems. There's not always a lot of quality content coming out in movie theaters, especially if you don't live in a big city. It's really too bad. But the wealth of cinema history is just, it's unminable. You're gonna go like a mile down the mine shaft, but there's 15 more miles, 20,000 more miles to go. You'll never get to it all, which is great. So let's get to the chat, and I hope that helped. If it didn't, let me know if it didn't help at all. But I'll leave Substack on there and let you go subscribe to that. It's just an email that goes to your inbox that has my writings. I write for myself. I'm my own editor. Sometimes I make a few mistakes writing-wise, but I don't let AI write for me. So you can, when I go see new movies, I will write new movie releases because I think that's just plain fun. Lots of good chat. The thing about the quality of this channel, it ain't just me, it's you guys, because you guys contribute very well to this. Hello from Norway. Hi. Hi, Brumble Bass. Oh, and there's a Discord server. I have a Discord server. It's a nice small online community. I mean, I don't like the C word there, but it is. The guys are getting to know each other, the guys and gals. Frankly, I don't know the gender and the age and the class of most people on there. Honestly, I just know their usernames and what they say, and it's kind of fun. So Discord, I think that's linked in the video description. Oh, you saw The Friends of Eddie Coyle and loved it. Good. Yeah, the video on that movie, The Friends of Eddie Coyle. I just released that about a month ago, so I'm glad. It is slow, and it's a character-driven picture rather than a thrill, chase, action picture, which is going to come 10, 15 years later, much more so, made in like 72 or something like that. So I do recommend that for sure. Wild Robot looks sweet. Nosferatu. Yep. Nosferatu, Robert Eggers. Coming out in December, I think. Made in England. Okay, I'll check that out. I don't know that one. Danny Elfman. Great. Found this channel. So Patrick Lewis, I'm just reading this. I did not see it. Found this channel a week ago when looking for more of Werner Herzog stuff after running into the White Diamond. Just want to say thanks for being the only real movie channel. Certainly that's not the case. I mean, there's got to be other real movie YouTube channels out there. I saw that Every Frame of Painting had restarted, although for a limited time, which is good and helpful. Big channel, classic channel in its own way. I don't know. Quite honestly, I just do my own thing and enjoy it. Yeah, so thank you. The White Diamond is I might say that's my favorite Herzog movie. It's a little bit different, a documentary. It seems like a miracle to me. He's more optimistic, and that's I would like to skew more optimistic myself. I like his dark romanticism, but man, if you like Werner Herzog, if you don't know who he is, go watch The White Diamond. And that's hard to find, but it's thoughtful. I'm a humongous Herzog fan. That's almost how the channel got started, with me doing a bunch of Herzog videos. That's what I remember, at least, watching through Herzog's filmography. Thank you. Hit the like button. Sure, thanks. It seems, yeah, Kit Katsy, you're probably right. The most talented young creators are going to social media. And I always get like once in a while, somebody saying, I made a movie, I put it on YouTube, would you check it out? And it's usually some young person, 18-year-old person, 25-year-old person, asking me to watch the movie that they made with their own heart and their guts and their slim picking, their slim bank account, and wanting me to watch it. I'm like, I wish Hollywood would mind that. You know, they would go on YouTube and check out whatever people are doing and then start to pull talent from that. I mean, they have to have a huge talent pool to draw from, and then there it sits on YouTube. I don't know how much TikTok can give them that, but yeah, I would assume TikTok has a lot of creativity to it. I'm not going to spend the time to look for it, but you can, and I bet there are some on there who could make good filmmakers, even though they're in a medium that's so fast-paced and short form. Yes, Dr. David, you know what I'm going to do today is watch To Live. Dr. David says, watch To Live. I know you like those East Asian movies from the 80s and 90s, I think. And that's on the project list. That's like, I'm in 1994. I'm watching through 1994 movies, one of the most lauded movie years ever. And that's a movie it's eluded me. I never have seen it. I have it. I'm going to watch it probably today. So there you go. You'll see what I have to say about it on Letterboxd. But To Live, yeah. You know, I like those other, what were they? Judo? I can't pronounce it. And the other one? Raise the Red Lantern. Raise the Red Lantern is really good. Excellent 1992-3 Chinese movie. You will love it. From China. I should say it's from China. Yeah. Mouth of Madness has a great premise. Yeah. You know, it's a guy stuck in somebody else's reality, or maybe stuck in somebody else's reality, like a simulation, like a movie. I like the ending to that. You know, the ending to Into the Mouth of Madness. That's one of the reasons I liked it. You know, it clearly it's riffing on H.P. Lovecraft, the horror writer from the early 20th century, who's just as dark as anybody can be. But then the ending is very postmodern funny, I found. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that turn, because it wasn't like the end of The Thing, which is this dark, ambiguous. John Carpenter's The Thing, dark and ambiguous. What was the ending to They Live? You know, another movie where a guy discovers he's in somebody else's reality, which Carpenter and a bunch of authors and directors like. I can't remember. I thought that was dark too, but you know, Mouth of Madness is arguably not so dark. Maybe. Hello, Age of. Yeah, these people like in the Mouth of Madness, although one Brumblebass doesn't. Maybe watch it during a dark, cold Norwegian winter. Oh, I don't know. Joint Security Area. I've heard of that, but okay, I'll check that out. Compulsion with Orson Welles. Did we go past that? Cop is good. Okay. So that's reading through the Criterion stuff. California Split. Look, there's no end to great things. I have not heard of The Last Screenwriter. Also, Carlos Sora. That's escaping me right now. So those two I don't know. What is The Last Screenwriter? I mean, this movie written by an AI. What? Okay. Is the movie itself written by the AI, or the plot is AI? I mean, the plot contains the description. Oh, okay. Looked it up on Letterboxd. Jack, a celebrated screenwriter, finds his world shaken when he encounters a cutting-edge AI script writing system. Initially skeptical, he soon realizes the AI not only matches his skills, but even surpasses him in empathy. and understanding of human emotions. Torn between his pride. Who wrote this? Some romance, back of the romance novel writer. Blurbist. Okay, I thought that was a real thing. I mean, has anyone tried to write a script with AI? I'm sure it's not great. So you like this one? Kind of creepy? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I look at how 1 stars. What are people hating about this? Oh, well, there you are. You have me at AI is what what I would say. Although, what was the? Okay, so what? There was a movie where recently came out where an AI was like terrorizing people through household goods, like it was controlling their refrigerator, or their door, or something like this. Like that premise is in the 70s already. Like you can go back to sci-fi in the 70s and they have that. So I feel like all this AI stuff is relevant, but there's so much in science fiction history that talks about this that already probably speaks to our era. So I don't know. That's always what strikes me as strange. Is like I know some of that stuff, and so then this kind of thing wouldn't seem as fresh to me probably. God, there are more people here now than there were earlier. What am I supposed to do? A song and dance? What was your Wallace and Gromit question, Max? I don't even remember. You watched Amarcord. Yeah, that's an Italian movie that I really like. I don't think the appeal is like Mr. Hulot's Holiday, which is a comedy, quirky comedy. I think it's more of a director showcase in having big groups of people in the screen, a whole town. It's more communal than it is individual. It's rare to find, I think, a good movie that doesn't focus just on one individual. Am I getting this right? Am I remembering this movie correctly? I feel like it's about a community, and that's hard to pull off. But it strikes me as pretty Italian. I may be wrong. I know there's a main character protagonist in that one, but that was my remembrance or sense of it. Exotica is on my list to watch. Excuse me, whoever's asking. My thoughts on the Minecraft trailer: I don't watch trailers. To my detriment, because obviously I do videos reviewing trailers. Trailers are commercials, and frankly, they offend me mostly. Now, I'm not going to go on old man rant here except to say a trailer. I have seen so many trailers, and I watch them after I watch the movie to pull shots from them to put in my review videos. But a trailer, most of them give away 3/4 of the movie, and most of them have the final shot of a movie. And I completely object to that. Either the final shot or one of the next to last shots. You're giving so much away. That's a giant surprise. It should leave us in awe. We should experience for the first time watching a movie, and you're putting it in your advertisement. I don't like that. Plus, I like to go into a movie with no expectations. Frankly, my expectations are this is going to be a great movie, or this could be a great movie. So going in without preconceived notions, I probably know maybe the director. I might know a tiny bit about the plot or the topics of the movie, but not much else. I usually go without the trailer. So yeah, I don't comment on those. But my thoughts about the Minecraft movie is that seems like an IP cash cow. So I know why they did it. And there's going to be some nostalgia on that one, probably from 25-year-olds who used to play Minecraft 12 years ago. I love these questions. It's so fun. Birdie. Kiefer K. watched Birdie. Wonderful movie. I loved it. It's still one of... I didn't watch it that long ago, but it's one of my favorite endings ever. Because the ending was shocking to me. I couldn't believe they did that. It's wild. It's a big risk. It's thoughtful. There's some things going on I don't think that's a good ending, but then I thought, oh, that's a great ending. So me being confused like that is usually a good thing. So Nick Cage's Modine is great in that, yeah. Okay, I'll check these out. I'm going to look at the chat later on. Love Exposure. 4 hours? Okay. It's hot in Norway. It's 78 degrees in Norway? What's wrong with you? Probably not at the tippy top of Norway, I would guess. John Waters. I haven't gotten into his filmography much. The ones I know are the ones that are more popular. But the ones I probably should know that I haven't gotten into are the older, earlier ones that are like big risk-taking and controversial and probably super weird. So that's a fault in me, but eventually I'll do the best of the 70s. I did the best of the old 80s, I'll do the 90s. And when I said do the 90s, I can't figure it out. I'm going to do the 2000s, or I'm going to go backwards. So the 70s is going to be something people want to see, I think. At least I want to do it. Capricorn 1, yeah, that's a weird one. I saw Sorcerer, didn't love it. I've talked about that before, though. I bet I should rewatch it. My favorite Friedkin films are, well, The French Connection. Friedkin. I feel like I'm missing. There's another one, too. But that's the one. I mean, that's my favorite. I'm not in love with it, what The Exorcist does with its material. Stephen Chow. All right. You're stumping me today. That's the thing about being a movie expert. There's no such thing as a movie expert because no one can watch all the movies in the world that have been made. Nobody. I mean, the only movie expert could be like Scorsese, who's probably seen many things. But even he probably hasn't seen things. What? Like, why am I not getting... The letter, if anybody in here works at Letterboxd, your search is broken or not great. You probably know that, but, and this is Stephen Chow. I don't know these. Do I? Do you? I don't know them. Sorry. People, you guys, Clint Eastwood is on here. He loves To Live and Die in LA. It's not my movie, but I can see why you like it. In the other video, The Best Unknowns of the 80s, I recommend Prince of the City. That's more my speed. And by the way, anything you guys are asking about, go check it out on Letterboxd. I might have written like a quick and dirty thing about it. Don't take it too much to heart. But it's my notes to myself basically on Letterboxd. But yeah, I might have written about it. Anyway, this is all great stuff, by the way. I just love this. Capricorn 1, I should look that one up. I mean, I should do the great unknown science fiction movies. And I don't think I would put this on the list, but it could go on there. It's pretty strange. This is the fake moon landing movie, right? I mean, I think I'm getting this right. Capricorn 1, 78. So it's got some of the, you know, at this point still, even with Star Wars out, the effects and the look of the movie isn't that great, but 78, if I remember correctly, Porter discovers a supposed Mars landing by a crewed mission. The plan has been faked via conspiracy involving the government. Another conspiracy theory thriller from the 1970s. This is like later on, post Watergate, but way after a bunch of conspiracy theory thrillers. And there still would be more after this. Elliot Gould, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, and O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Rest in peace, I guess, O.J. Hal Holbrook is in this, you know. And when you get Jerry Goldsmith, you're that's just a cherry on top of everything. So I don't think I recommend this movie, except if you are into this stuff, it is of great interest, because to have a faked Mars landing, which obviously is analogous to the fake moon landing, which I don't believe was faked, but you know, people think that, you know, that conspiracy theory aspect is there. Yeah, Peter Hyams like talking about the moon landing. What did Peter Hyams make? Hyams? Oh, it's things that sorry, just scroll down through here. What's his filmography? I feel like there's a couple things. Oh, it's 2010. Oh, Outland. That's the one. I love Outland. I recommended that. I think it's fun. But he's not like a high-quality director. Obviously, he made Time Cop and End of Days. These are terrible movies. They're fun to watch with the group and make fun of. But, yeah. 2010. Okay. But, there you go. So, I even like bad movies, as you probably do. Good job. Well, anyway, subscribe to Substack. Follow me on whatever. I'll follow you back if I check you out following me. We'll see. Yeah, we're releasing videos every Tuesday, new releases, live streams every month or so. It's fun. I hope you have fun at the movies, and these were good recommendations for you. Let me know in the comments what you think about these recommendations. Anything else, you guys are great, as always. And the chat's always great. Keep it. This is one of the best chats ever, or a good one for sure. Thanks, guys and gals, and everybody else. See you later.